There must be one Nigeria.
It is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent.
Let us youthfully march together to a greater tomorrow for Nigeria in unity with faith.
Regular punctuality, constant obedience, absolute loyalty, undoubted integrity, gracious courtesy, maximum efficiency. Historyfied presents the history of the Nigerian Police Force. After a series of prolonged arguments and some aggressively delivered threats of military bombardment, Obadosumu wisely ceded Lagos to command the battlefield of the British Empire and promptly signed the Lagos Treaty of Cession on the 6th of August 1861. The signing of the treaty ushered in the consular period in Lagos history where Britain, under the pale-looking officer William McCoskrie, the acting consul of Lagos, provided military protection to Lagos. Now, as Britain went on their merry way, conquering other impressionable sections of Africa, they needed some kind of military presence installed to keep everyone in Lagos in check. This was due to the fact that there wasn't any kind of organized national police force available at that time. That might not be entirely true. There was actually some kind of native authority police service in existence in Nigeria as early as the 18th century. And the men who formed the pioneer members of the elite national force mostly functioned as law enforcers in the native court judgments presided over by traditional rulers like chiefs, Ezes, Obas, and Emirs in their various palatial rulings. So, Lagos, after being annexed as a British colony in 1861, established an official police force, courtesy our favorite conqueror, Governor Consul William McCoskrie, who gave the order upon assuming office. By 1862, there were officially 25 constables in the Nigeria Police, referred to as consular guards. Over time, the force experienced significant growth in terms of both its personnel count and the diversification of their duties. Later in 1866, the Lagos colony grew to an impressive 1,200 armed men as a part of its internal defense force. Finally, in 1895, things started to get serious, as a distinct Lagos police force was soon established, headed by its own very first commissioner, Captain J.D. Hamilton. This resulted in members of the Nigeria Police Force being sent overseas to attend training courses. As commerce and industrialization thrived in Lagos and in turn Nigeria, criminals began to grow bolder, undertaking bold heists and generally getting in the way of justice. The detective branch of the Nigeria Police was soon born in 1897, from which the current-day Criminal Investigation Department, CID, was derived, and they immediately went to work putting the criminals in their place. As the Nigeria Police Force settled into the daily routine of apprehending criminals of all types and temperaments, they soon discovered that they needed more hands. Very soon, someone high up in the chain of command came up with a brilliant idea. Since a lot of Nigerians had a thing for music and dance, why not create a Nigeria police band with the objective of luring people into joining the police force using their love for music? Really? Yeah, really. I know it's hard to picture that as a great idea that will work in today's world, but it must have really sounded like a cool thing back then, because soon after, the Nigeria Police Band was born. The Nigeria Police Band came into existence sometime in 1890 as a corps of drum, and it became a major recruitment tool across the Nigerian hinterland to stimulate the interest of able-bodied, musically inclined young men in joining the noble profession. This corps of drum, after a string of musical successes and new recruits, became a fully orchestrated band in 1922, and many years later in 1968 instituted its first Nigerian director of music, Mr. Ben Odiase. Meanwhile, in other parts of Nigeria, law enforcement was equally catching on. The South-South version of the police force was first ambitiously referred to as the Oil Rivers Protectorate, with its headquarters situated in Calabar. When in 1893, the region was renamed the Niger Coast Protectorate, its police force soon followed suit, assuming the title of the Niger Coast Constabulary, made up of 123 men by 1898. The Niger Coast Protectorate was again in 1990 rechristened the Protectorate of Southern Nigeria, and its police force, following its strange naming convention, was renamed Southern Nigeria Police. Then in 1906, the Protectorate of Southern Nigeria and the colony of Lagos were amalgamated, which brought about the fusion of their individual forces. This fusion established an all-embracing Southern Nigeria Police Force with its headquarters moved from Calabar to Lagos. By this time, the force was commanded by an Inspector General of Police, who was assisted by commissioners and assistant commissioners whose ranks were the equivalents of present-day superintendents and assistant superintendents of police. The Nigeria Police Force has slowly become a big deal, charged with the responsibility of maintaining law and order while protecting life and property throughout the Federation. The police force soon became a force to be reckoned with. By 1888, in northern Nigeria, the Royal Niger Company of Nigeria, the infamous group behind the transfer of precious national resources to its foreign partners in the West, finally permitted the establishment of the Royal Niger Constabulary. When the Protectorate of Northern Nigeria was proclaimed in 1900 by Sir Frederick Lugard, 50 members of the Royal Niger Constabulary were picked to form the civil police known as the Northern Nigeria Police. By 1914, the force had grown to a strength of 23 officers and 1,200 other ranks, headed by an Inspector General of Police. Following the amalgamation of Northern and Southern Protectorates in 1914, the Northern and Southern Police Forces remained operational as distinct entities, maintaining their separate functions and jurisdictions. On the 1st of April 1930, the combined police force of Northern and Southern Nigeria were finally merged into what is known today as the Nigeria Police Force, under the Police Ordinance No. 2 of 1930, with its headquarters in Lagos. The first few Inspector Generals of the Nigeria Police Force were non-Nigerians, starting with the distinguished Mr. C.W. Duncan in 1930. And from then on, we had very British-looking Inspector Generals like Thratton, Sanders, Navrogodato, King, Finlay, Bovell, and Hodge. Finally, the first ever Nigerian Inspector General of Police, Louis Edet, was sworn in sometime in 1964, ending many years of struggling to interpret the heavily accented commands of the IGs that had previously been in office. Whew. It was not until 1955 that women were recruited into the force for the first time. There was serious excitement in the camp of male officers who all trooped out to watch the first batch of 20 policewomen pass out from training in early 1956. Even with women introduced into the policing structure of Nigeria, there was still a lot of work to do in curtailing the growing territorial space. So, between 1930 and 1975, the Nigeria Police expanded the gamut of its responsibility by creating other niche units of its slowly evolving policing system. The Police Force Service Commission, the Police Council, the Mobile Police Force, Highway Patrol Service, Highway Patrol System, Police Area Commands, and Traffic Warding Service all became notable additions to the organizational structure of the Nigerian policing system. The uniform of the men of the police force, on the other hand, also witnessed some kind of organizational restructuring, with the launch of different shades and versions of uniforms over the years. The Police Recruit Cadre of Service remains the entry point of the Nigeria Police Force, and as at 2016, there were over 370,000 sworn members serving in the 36th State Command of the Nigeria Police Force.
There must be one Nigeria.
It is only on that basis of equality that peace can be maintained in our continent.
Let us youthfully march together to a greater tomorrow for Nigeria.